So today I'm just going to talk a little bit about the one of the four agreements, which is the second one. The first one, if you remember, is be impeccable with your word, to try and make sure that you are indeed being as honest as you think you can be with yourself as well as with others. And that's not just talking to them, telling them a story, but it's also what you say to yourself. So are you being impeccable when you talk to yourself? Are you being honest? Realizing that there may be times when dishonesty is actually a loving thing to do to protect somebody. But generally speaking, it's more that humans have to work on being honest rather than being crafty and deceitful. All right, that was the first of the four agreements, is being impeccable with your word. And the second one, which we're going to talk about today, is not taking things personally. And that's just meant to be a kind of a guideline. It's not meant that you never take anything personally. It's just that if you are resilient, if you're working on your self-esteem and your confidence, then you don't need the great approval of other people. I mean, it's nice if they approve of you, but it's better that you do what you think is right than do what the crowd thinks is right. And that's where bullying and peer pressure comes in. We often get pressured into doing something that we're not happy with. And after a while, that really plays a big toll on us, and it lowers our self-esteem because we know we're not being honest with ourselves. So now, with this not taking things personally, we just have a little short story. And it's basically about three students who, let's say, attend the Dow, and they all have nicknames. Like I used to have a nickname called Fang because I had very crooked teeth, all right? And until I stopped taking it personally, that nickname bothered me and it changed my behavior towards other people, and it wasn't a good thing. However, with someone's coaching and saying, Chris, don't let it bother you, it's just a nickname. And all of a sudden, you know, when people would say Fang, I'd say, hey, yeah, hi, how are you? And my nickname became something that other people actually liked, and it didn't bother me. And I even forgot why I had it after a while. So now let's go to those three students. One student has a fairly long nose and it's got lots of bumps on it. And you're right, they got the nickname Pickle Nose. Another student happened to have a system in their stomach where a lot of the gas would come up through their stomach and it would go out into their mouths, and this was something that they were stuck with. It wasn't normal. And people called them fart breath. Not very nice. But if you don't get upset over it, almost sounds kind of funny. And then we got to the third person, which was Moose Lips. And Moose Lips just had really loose facial muscles, which later on, when the nerves actually started to repair because they had damage to their face, their nerves would tighten up and their actually lips would go back to kind of normal. But right now, their lips were just like flapping all over the place. In a big wind, this person's lips are slapping themselves. So it, to us, might seem very funny. To them, it depends on their attitude. So the neat thing about these three students at the Dow, Pickle Nose, Fart Breath, and Moose Lips, was that they had learned through practice and time and effort not to take things personally. And so when people said, hey, Pickle Nose, she just responded, yeah, hey, how are you? And they realized it didn't bother her, and they really liked her attitude. They were inspired by her confidence and her presence. And she was like, had tons and tons of people who she was really friendly with, and they with her. And yet, not everybody's going to like you. That's not realistic, right? And so she knew she had some people who didn't like her, and some bullies who would still call her Pickle Nose and mean it as a way of hurting her, but she just let it roll off her back, like water off a duck's back. Fart Breath, same. Moose Lips, same. They learned to accept that some people were trying to expose their insecurities, and they just let it go. And they could be themselves, and they could be happy, regardless of what other people thought. And in doing that, they actually gained more friends and more people that were comfortable with them because they didn't get embarrassed when people called them a nickname. Anyway, hope you had a really good class. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Support each other at home. Namaste.